I realised by making this video I'm actually calling myself out on series, like popular fantasy series that I actually haven't started yet, which fully means that I'm expecting the comment section to be filled with, "Oh my god, why haven't you read this series yet?" Hi friends, my name is Joel and welcome back to my booktube channel. If you've yet to check out my December TBR video, I would highly recommend you go do that because I talk about some of the books that I'm going to read for the final month of 2020. Like, these are the last books that I'm going to be reading for 2020, so why not go check that out? And if you've yet to check out my Twitter nor my Bookstagram, I would highly recommend you go check that out as well because I post some extra bookish content that you're not gonna see here. Okay, so for today's video, I'm gonna be talking about fantasy series that I'm hoping to read in 2021. Or, well, hoping to start in 2021 because one of these series is 14 books long and each of them are 700 to like 600, 700 pages each. I can read fast, but I don't really want to read all of that in one go, so I'm probably just gonna pace myself throughout. But there are definitely some really cool series that I am really looking forward to be checking out. And again, my goal for 2021 is to check out a lot of like older published fantasy series and a lot of ones that have helped define the fantasy genre. It's gonna be really exciting, but also I'm gonna be checking out some more recently published books. And the very first series in question that I'm going to be reading is the Percy Jackson series by Rick Riordan, but I'm also gonna probably try and read all of the Riordan within 2021, so this is like 5 series. I just wanted to talk about Percy Jackson because I read the first book, The Lightning Thief, years and years and years and years and years ago. I don't know why I didn't continue on with the series, but I just didn't, and these covers are just so stunning. I'm just really excited to be checking it out, and especially with the new Percy Jackson series coming to Disney Plus, no better time to start the series, so I'm hoping to binge this in 2021 and binge all the other series. And I don't know whether I'll be doing reading vlogs on them yet, but just keep your eyes out, I guess, for something or some time. I've just heard so many good things about it and how it's just feel good and how so many people have been recommending me to read this for literal years now. Like May, my Gayanaise has just been telling me to read it. Whenever May tells me something's a good book, I will believe her. Like, May and I have really similar reading tastes. I can trust May, and if May says that I will love Percy Jackson, then I will probably love Percy Jackson. To those who don't know what Percy Jackson is about, Percy Jackson's life has basically been a bit of a mess, between almost getting kicked out of boarding school to the monsters and gods from Greek mythology coming into the real world. However, most of them are angry with him because they believe he is the one to steal Zeus's lightning. Percy now has 10 days in order to recover Zeus's lightning bolt, otherwise facing the wrath of the gods. But if he does find the lightning bolt, he will bring peace to Mount Olympus. But many trials await our hero, and a betrayal lurks close behind him. But Percy and his friends may uncover a treachery that is more powerful than the gods themselves. And so I'm really excited to be checking out Percy Jackson. I am like a big fan of mythology, so Rick Riordan's books have definitely been something that I have been meaning to read and just meaning to like consume for the longest time. And so I'm super excited to be finally checking it out. I'm super excited to be rereading The Lightning Thief and just consuming the other books for the very first time. I also have Magnus Chase. Yeah, I still need to get the Heroes of Olympus and the Trials of Apollo. I have the first and third book in the Kane Chronicles series. I just need to get the second book from Barnes & Noble. And so I'm just really excited to be finally reading this series and just sharing all of my thoughts with you when the time comes. The next series, which I've already kind of read, but it's more of like a catch-up on the series with the new series that is coming out. Wow, there's a lot of series. It is the Last Hours series by Cassandra Clare. Now, this one has been one that has been on my radar for a while because I really want to catch up with Cassandra Clare books. Like, I read the Mortal Instruments series and I read the Infernal Devices series, but then I kind of dropped off and didn't read anything since. So The Last Hours, but also The Dark Artifices, is something that I definitely want to check out and read because I'm still interested in the Shadowhunter world. I'm still interested in Cassandra Clare's writing, and I know that she's published a lot of other works like The Lost Book of the White and The Red Scrolls of Magic, which I have, so I really want to read those as well. And so it's definitely like a Cassandra Clare catch-up that I need. And I'm just really excited to be reading Chain of Gold, Chain of Iron, and The Dark Artifices as well, and just reacquainting myself with the Shadowhunter world. I don't know whether I will be doing a reread of The Mortal Instruments. To those who don't know what the Shadowhunters series is about, it's about people called Shadowhunters who have the power of angel blood, who are able to draw upon powers by casting runes on their skin. They basically fight demons and downworlders who are people with demon blood, and so there's a lot of conflict within each of the series that pertains to their power struggle between Shadowhunters and Downworlders and everything associated in between. We have Warlock, Seelie, Unseelie, and just a bunch of cool people, and so I'm really excited to be reacquainting myself with Cassandra Clare and the worlds that she has written in 2021. The next series that I'm then going to be reading, and it's going to be an introduction to a wider series as a whole, is Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson, and so I wanted to really start reading Sanderson in 2021. Sanderson has a lot of acclaim against his writing, and I do want to explore his world building and his writing for the very first time, and I've heard so many good things about the Cosmere as a whole, so I'm really excited to be delving into it and really excited to be starting off with Mistborn. I've consulted with a lot of my friends who have read the Cosmere, and so they have given me a reading order, and they've told me to start with Mistborn, Era 1, and also Era 2, but I think I'm going to have Era 1 and Era 2 be separate reading vlogs because they're separate series technically. So yeah, Mistborn follows 16-year-old Vin, a girl who discovers that she is Mistborn, someone with the power of allomancy who can control metals in order to give them special abilities, both mental and physical. However, Vin is recruited by a man named Kelsier for a heist that seeks to dethrone the Lord Ruler from his seat of absolute power and ultimate terror, which may change the world forever. And so I'm really excited to be delving into this. I'm also really excited to be delving into the Cosmere as a whole and getting finally to the Stormlight Archives, because that is the one that everyone has been talking about, that is amazing and that is just iconic and beautiful and wonderful and wow. And so I'm really hopeful that I will enjoy Brandon Sanderson's writing and also the Cosmere as a whole, because it's just something that a lot of people talk about and it's something that a lot of people rave about, and so I'm just like, please let me enjoy this. But also, if I don't like it and it's not for me, that's also fine, although Blake said he would never speak to me again. So, but I'm really excited to be reading this, and I'm hoping it will be good. So yeah, fingers crossed. And yeah, I'm just excited to like get onto everything and just see what Brandon Sanderson has to offer. Speaking of ultimate fantasy series, the next series that I will be reading is the Broken Earth Trilogy by N.K. Jemisin. Now, N.K. Jemisin is a writer that I have been wanting to read for the longest time. N.K. Jemisin, beautiful. Her tweets are just so stunning and I just love her. She's amazing. She is just so inspirational and just iconic. Like, we stan N.K. Jemisin, and so I'm really, really excited to be reading the Broken Earth Trilogy. I have the State We Became in my university room. I will probably, hopefully, be reading that next year as well, but I'd really love to read the Broken Earth Trilogy, and it's one that some of my friends have read and have also highly recommended that I read, and it's definitely something that I've had my eyes on for a few years now, so I think it's definitely time that I just bite the bullet and get into it and read it and just record my reactions for you all, and I think it'll be really amazing. So the Broken Earth Trilogy follows Essen, who one day comes home to find that her husband has brutally murdered their son, which one is what? And also has kidnapped their daughter, and meanwhile, while all that's going on, the mighty world Empire Suns has also collapsed because citizens are dying, and this red rift has been torn into the heart of the earth, which has caused like natural disasters, and it's just like already there's a lot going on and I'm already excited. So basically Essen then has to traverse this deadly landscape in order to find the remnants of her family, and meanwhile there's a struggle between nations for basic resources, and Essen cannot give a fuck because all she wants to do is save her daughter, and she will tear the world apart herself in order to find her. I'm excited because this showcases a motherly character, and I'm just really excited to read a novel from a motherly perspective and a motherly character, because it just gives me, like, already from the synopsis, it gives me like vibes from my own mother, who basically talks about the fact that she will kill anyone who tries to harm us. And so I'm really excited because I just think it'll be really fun for me to read, and it just already gives me a lot of like warm vibes, even though like people are dead and dying. So yeah, I'm just really excited to be delving into this and really excited to just kind of see what N.K. Jemisin has to offer as a writer, and already I've seen like a lot of hype surrounding her, and she does need to be hyped up more, and a lot more people need to read her works as well, so hopefully I'll be able to boost her however I can. And plus, I haven't really read much fantasy that uses natural disasters as a way to influence the plot and the landscape of the plot, and so I'm really, really excited to be seeing this. I'm really excited to learn from it as well for my own writing, and so it's going to be quite cool, and I'm quite excited to see how it all plays out. And the next series then that I will want to read is one that's also quite an old series, but one that I have been recommended to read a few times, and that is The Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan, but also Brandon Sanderson like near the end because Robert Jordan unfortunately died. And so The Wheel of Time is definitely one that is now being adapted by Amazon Prime, and it's one that I have just had my eyes on for a little while. Like, my older sister talked about reading The Wheel of Time. It's one that I know that she started to read, but I'm not exactly sure if she liked it. Yeah, I'm just really excited to be getting into this one as well and just seeing what older epic fantasy had to offer, because it's really something that I want to learn more about the genre as a whole, and so seeing where epic fantasy came from to now would be really great for my analysis and more in-depth analysis of books. And I think that as someone who also wants to become an academician within fantasy books, it would be great for me to have a wide breadth of information. The Wheel of Time basically follows a group of 5 villagers where when the 2 rivers are attacked by Tollocs, who are half beast, half humans, they flee the village and their destinies are changed, and they find new dangers lurking from every shadow and every light. The synopsis is very vague in the sense that it doesn't give you a lot of information, but it's still intriguing enough for me to want to pick it up because I want to see where this goes and I want to see how the Wheel of Time universe works. And I know Daniel Green has said a lot of good things about the Wheel of Time. I want to pick it up. I want to pick it up. So I've picked it up. I'm picking it up. I cannot wait to start reading that. Again, this is a 14-book fantasy series, so I don't think I'll be able to read it all next year. I'm either going to do one massive reading vlog where I read all 14 books, but it's like me reading them in like pacing. So like maybe I'll read like one in January, one in February, and all the way through, or I will do just parts. So like I'll read books 1 to 3, 4 to 6, 7 to 9, like all like that. I don't know yet. Yeah, it's a 14-book fantasy series, which is scary, but I think I can do it. Excited to read The Wheel of Time, and I'm excited to see how Brandon Sanderson took the series after Robert Jordan died. The next fantasy series that I want to read in 2021 is the Farsi Trilogy by Robin Hobb. This one has also been recommended to me a lot, particularly by Ashley from A Frolic Through Fiction. I know she is a massive Robin Hobb fan, and I know a few other people like Reagan from Peru's Project is also a fan of Robin Hobb, and so I'm really excited to be reading the Farsi Trilogy and just delving again into another fantasy author that a lot of people really like. So the Farsi Trilogy follows Fitz, who is a bastard son of Prince Chivalry and is treated like an outcast within the court. However, by King Shrewd, he is trained in the arts of the assassin as he possesses the magic of skill. However, soon Fitz will face his first mission, and although some may regard him as a threat to the throne, he actually may be the thing that saves the kingdom, and so it's really exciting to see how all of this unfolds, and it's really exciting to see the plot intrigue, the court intrigue that may come from this, and also like the assassins, the action. Like my mind is already turning with some of the things that I want from this series, and so I'm really excited to kind of delve into it and just give all of my thoughts and feelings, scream to Ashley and Reagan about it, and I'm just really excited for it, and I'm really hoping that this will unfold into something amazing and something wonderful. And so yeah, I just cannot wait to read the Farsi Trilogy and just see what it has to offer. The next series that I then want to read, which is still ongoing, is the Witchlands series by Susan Dennard. I don't see this talked about a lot on BookTube, and so I'm really excited to be delving into it. I've already read Truth Witch, but that was like years ago, but I really enjoyed it, so I'm really excited to be continuing on with the series, especially now that they've had stunning, like Truth Witch is just simply gorgeous, Wind Witch, and then finally the latest book, Blood Witch. And they're just stunning. But yeah, I'm just really hopeful that this series just gets even better, and so I'm really, really intrigued by it. And so basically this follows 2 witches called Sophia and Iseult, who are a truth witch and a thread witch respectively. Safi's powers are basically sought after and wanted by a fuck ton of people, and so when Sophia and Iseult anger a guildmaster and the Blood Witch bodyguard, they are forced on the run and have to ally with Prince Merrick, reluctantly, but also Prince Merrick's quite cool. So, however, war is coming, treaties are being violated, and there is a magical contagion sweeping the land. And so these friends must battle emperors and mercenaries who would probably want a truth witch for themselves. And so it's really, really exciting. And I remember from the descriptions of this magical contagion, like how brutal it can be. Like, it gives me like these Violent Delights vibes with how the contagion works, and so I'm really excited to be reading this. I'm really excited to see how the series continues and just hopefully giving some more attention to the Witchlands, and so yeah, I'm really excited. The next series, oh my gosh, I watched the TV show as a kid and I rewatched it quite recently in lockdown as I needed something to keep me busy with, and I just loved it so much. I just loved the fan family aspect of it. I've seen Blake's review of this book series, I've seen May's review of this book series, and so I'm really, really excited to be reading the Kyoshi novels in 2021. This follows Avatar Kyoshi on her journey to becoming the Avatar that we all know her as, and so I'm really, really excited by it. And so basically this follows Avatar Yoon, who basically is discovered to be the next Avatar. However, that might not be correct, as Kyoshi is found to have spectacular bending powers on a mission to the South Pole, and so she's forced to flee the Avatar mansion with her friends as people don't want her to be the Avatar. And so on the run she's having to pursue secret Avatar training, and together with her friends they have to face against mercenaries who leave a pile of bodies in her wake. And so it's up to Kyoshi to decide whether she's going to do her traditional Avatar training or go on a path of vengeance that may change her forever. It's quite exciting to see this, and it's quite exciting to see like the Kyoshi novels and getting a better kind of viewpoint into the Avatar universe as a whole. And I know there are Avatar comics as well, which makes me really excited, and I can't wait to read those and to just continue on with everything. And so yeah, I'm just really, really excited to kind of see how everything unfolds and see how it works. Just reacquainting myself with this universe again, because again, it's one of my favourite TV shows, and the world building is immaculate, the writing is immaculate, and I just have such high hopes for this book, and I'm really excited to see how Kyoshi unfolds. I also think this book might be gay. I think it's gay. Please let it be gay. It's gonna be amazing, and plus the nakedness of this book, like, stunning, gorgeous, wow. And so yeah, the next fantasy series that I then want to read in 2021 is by an author whose fantasy series took me on a wild ride way back in like 2016, 2017. I think that it's still heralded as one of my favourite fantasy novels of all time. So I'm really excited to be reading her predecessor series, and now that it's coming out with stunning recovers, I think that it's only fair that I read them now. And so the series in question is the Daughter of Smoke and Bone series by Laini Taylor. This is the ILLUMICRATE exclusive edition that was recently just shipped to me. It's just so stunning. Like, it's literally right on top of the box, so I haven't seen what other items are in the box yet. But I also have two boxes because I bought one and forgot I was receiving one as a rep. So I'm gonna have to do something with the other box, but I'm not sure yet. The Daughter of Smoke and Bone series is definitely one that I'm interested in reading, and definitely interested in seeing what it has to offer. I think that would be really cool to see Laini Taylor's writing pre-Strange the Dreamer, because Strange the Dreamer, chef's kiss, amazing, wonderful. And it basically follows Karu, who basically is drawing monsters that may or may not be real and speaking languages not all of which are human. She wants to know who she is, and the question has been plaguing her for quite some time now. And so when Akiva finds her in the markets of Marrakesh, the answers may find her, and she may not like everything that she learns. And so I'm really, really excited to be reading this. I'm really excited to delve into it. I'm really excited to just see everything that Laini Taylor has to offer and to give us and to just smother us with. And so yeah, Daughter of Smoke and Bone, we're gonna snatch this series up and we're gonna read it and we're gonna fall in love with Laini Taylor's writing all over again. The next series that I then want to read is one that has been recommended to me a lot, particularly by May again. Wow, May has been recommending me a lot of fantasy series. And so the next series in question is The Girls of Paper and Fire by Natasha Nunn. This is a sapphic fantasy book. Like, I've been reading a lot of sapphic sci-fi this year, but sapphic fantasy is definitely something that I want to read more of. So hopefully in 2021 I'll be reading a lot more of sapphic fantasy. And so the world of Girls in Paper and Fire is quite interesting, as every year 8 girls are chosen to serve as paper girls, consorts to the king. However, this year there's a 9th girl, and this girl is made of fire. This girl is on fire! So Lei is taken by the king's guards in order to be the king's 9th consort, as the king has heard much about her beauty and her golden eyes. And so Lei is then trained in the art of being the king's consort. However, she does the one thing that she should not. She falls in love, and so her love may be enmeshed with a plot that may take down the kingdom and the way of life that she is so used to. But just how far will they go for not only justice, but also revenge? And so it's really exciting. I'm really excited to read it. I'm hoping there is a re-release of this series without the James Patterson Presents like header. I just cannot wait to like delve into this and see what the series has to offer, and just hopefully fall in love with it and scream to May about everything that I love about it. The next 2 series are by the same author, and it's definitely a series that I'm really excited to be reading, and it's definitely something that has been on my mind for a while now, because I am a Chupeko. And so the two series that I'm wanting to read by Rin Chupeko in 2021 is finishing off the Bone Witch series, but also reading The Never Tilting World. And I'll start off with the Bone Witch, because the Bone Witch I read way back and I just fell in love with it. I fell in love with the prose, I fell in love with the way that Rin Chupeko was telling a story, and I just found the writing to just be so amazing. I'm just really excited to be continuing on with the series in 2021 with the other two books in the trilogy, The Heart Forger and The Shadow Glass. The Bone Witch series basically follows T, who accidentally resurrects her brother from the dead, and so she is heralded as a Bone Witch who is feared and ostracized by society. T then trains to become an Ash, who is someone who can wield elemental magic. But with dark forces approaching, T may have to embrace every aspect of her power, and she may have to make decisions that will change the course of her destiny forever. I'm just really excited to be continuing on with the Bone Witch series and rereading book 1 once again. I think this series just doesn't get enough attention. And then the other Rin Chupeko series, The Never Tilting World, has been one that has been on my mind as well for a while, because a lot of my friends have really enjoyed it and a lot of my friends have recommended that I read it, and so it's definitely one that I'm looking forward to. The Never Tilting World follows a world where goddesses of twin sisters have ruled the world. However, 17 years ago, a sister's betrayal tore the world in two. One cloaked in perpetual night and the other scorched by a burning sun. One sister rules a frozen city surrounded by savage storms, whilst the other one inhabits a sandlocked golden city. And so both of them have daughters, and both daughters are called by shadowy figures to the site of where the worlds were broken, and together they seek to heal the world no matter the sacrifices that are needed. And so it's really exciting to see this generational fantasy come into play, and how history could potentially repeat itself, but then also how history has been broken. It's just exciting. I'm really excited, and a lot of my friends have just been raving about it, and you know, when your friends rave about a book so much that you get excited about reading it, you know that you need to pick it up right away. And so the next series, which I think Caitlin, who works for ILLUMICRATE, will be really excited that I'll be reading 2021, is Gideon the Ninth. And so this series has been on my radar for a while, and Caitlin has non-stop been talking about it, and so I thought maybe I should finally pick it up. Maybe I should finally see what it's all about. Maybe I should just immerse myself in this world. And I read the synopsis a little bit a while ago, and oh my god, I am just so excited to be reading this series. I'm so excited to like finally delve into it. I'm so excited to just explore the necromancy and just explore the way that this society works and just explore the way the writing is done. And I just think that there's a magical tournament feel to it. I'm hoping there is, because ooh, the synopsis, chef's kiss. So basically, the Emperor needs necromancers and necromancers need swordsmen. However, Gideon has no more time for undead bullshit, and she basically wants a way out, and she tries to plan a daring escape. However, her childhood friend Harrow may have something to say about that, as Harrow, reverend daughter of the necromantic Ninth House, has been called into service by the Emperor, who basically enters all of the houses into a trial of skill and wit, where the winner will claim immortality. But without Gideon's sword, Harrow does not stand a chance. Ninth House will fail and die. However, as we know with necromancy, maybe some things are better off dead. And so I am really excited to be reading this. I just think it has a lot of like intrigue to it. I think there's going to be a lot of like character relationships and a character dynamic that's just going to be so intriguing to read. And so yeah, I'm just really hopeful about it, and I'm really excited to scream at Caitlin about Gideon the Ninth and Harrow the Ninth when I eventually get to it. And so yeah, I just think it's going to be really amazing. Also, there's up to 9 houses, so I wonder which house I will fall into. And so that is it. Those are some of the fantasy series that I'm really looking forward to reading in 2021. I just think it's going to be amazing to see all of my reactions to these series and also broaden my horizons of what fantasy can be and also could be as a whole. And so I just think it's really amazing that I'm looking to diversify myself even more by reading books from different authors of different identities, and I just think like in my journey to always make sure I'm reading a wide array of novels. I just think it's going to be great, and I think it's going to be great to see kind of how each author delivers their respective series. I can learn a lot from it as a writer, and so I'm really excited for it. And if you are looking to read any fantasy series in 2021, be sure to leave a comment in the comment section down below letting me know all about the series that you're looking to read, and maybe I might want to pick it up as well. But yeah, that is everything. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you're new here, be sure to click that subscribe button so that you're notified whenever I upload episode next. This week's shout out fates goes out to Tori Morrow, who is a fantasy booktuber, and she's amazing. I just love the way that she talks about books and the way that she talks about fantasy and sci-fi as a whole, and her videos lately have just been amazing. I just discovered that she has a bookstagram, so I followed her on there too, but I just love Tori's content, and so I'll leave her channel in the description down below. If you want to find me on any other social media platforms, I'll have them linked in the description down below as well, along with my coffee and my Amazon wishlist, just in case you wanted to donate any amount of books or money to help support this channel further. I've been talking for like almost an hour about all of these books. The sky has gone completely dark, and I'm ready to just continue reading and just sharing my love of reading with all of you, and this next year is just going to be amazing, and I cannot wait for all of you to watch my journey. And so yeah, I guess until the next video, bye friends.